We're back at it, talking about the Deps Kincoo 13-inch airworm. Hit that like and subscribe. This is Northern Strain Style. Let's go.
Man, out on the lake, all you need is a line and a pole that'll never break. Over on the lake in a tiny little boat stood a tall, slim gal who said her boat wouldn't float. She called on me for a helping hand. I said I didn't have time, I'm a fishing man, I'm a fishing man. Out on the lake, got a stringer full of fish and a pole that'll never break.
The Deps 13-inch airworm. I did a video on it last year using the green pumpkin, and I was hitting the little tail with the little chartreuse, and I had it Nico rigged. This year we're doing it a little bit different. This year I hit it with the Zappu Inchy Wacky jig head. Now as we're gonna, there's a little node here where it's kind of not a bump, kind of like place for your O-ring. So I was using the Wacky O-ring. So you grab two of them, take your O-ring, put it on through the tail. Run it. Sounds like there's a deer running through the woods or something. Run it all the way down. You're going to do that with two of them. Then you put your Wacky rig on. And then how it falls is down like this. And this jig head gets it to rock back and forth. And it has a beautiful fall and amazing action. The fish couldn't resist it. Set the hook. There you go. Good. Yeah, you want to let them run with this bait for a few seconds so they can get it all in their mouth. It's a nice one. Get in here, buddy. Back to backs. That's a big old worm. Back to backs. That big old worm. Now how you work the bait, you know, you kind of got to do like a lob cast, otherwise you're going to rip the worm in half because it's so big and it's pretty heavy. So you kind of want to lob your cast out there and then feed it line, so it'll get a more of a horizontal fall, right? And if they don't hit it right when it first hits the bottom, which they did 75% of the time, then you can either like make long whips up and down with your rod, or you can just kind of like shake it, like if it was on the Zappu Inchy Wacky head there. You can just kind of inch it and like kind of crawl it along, and it kind of like puffs like. So my rod and reel setup for that big bait is I'm using 20-pound fluorocarbon, Sunline, the FC Sniper, and then I'm using this Elliott rod, the 7.5 medium heavy, and a Daiwa Tatula Type R. It's an older one. It's an 8-to-1 gear ratio, and it's just a little more heavy duty for the heavier line and bigger baits. But if you have a chance, check out these Elliott rods. They have the synth cork. I probably might have said that wrong. My buddy Nickel put the type of cork it is in the comments, but man, these rods are so sensitive. And when you're throwing that big bait, it's a very light bite. So all of a sudden you just feel something a little bit different. And with this big bait, you want to let them run with the bait a little bit. You don't want to set your hook, because when they hit it, they're going to be moving, because they want to try to flush water in with the bait to get the bait in their mouth. And then you just reel on into them. And with that Nico hook, just like when you're Nico fishing or drop shot fishing, you can just keep reeling it. And then once you feel the hook get in them, you can just lean back and apply pressure. And man, I didn't miss any on this setup both years. So I was also using it Nico style, using the VMC half moon weights that I like. I like having the weight on the outside of the worm, so then you have better feel when you hit the bottom, having that hard surface there. And then this year I was sticking another half moon up in the top of it, and then some glue in the air holes right there. Then my favorite Nico hook, that VMC Nico, using a big 2-aught. I mean, these hooks are amazing. They get them deep in the top of the roof of the mouth and not just skin hook them. So with this Kincoo airworm, it's flat on one side and it's got these little ribs for her pleasure. And so you rig it on the flat side. Up like that. There you go. That'll hit bottom. There's the bite. Reel, reel, reel. That big long worm, you just reel on into him. There we go. 13-inch Deps Kincoo worm. There's the bite reel. Oh, it's a good one. 13-inch Kincoo airworm, Nico style. There's the bite. Got him. Deps 13-inch Kincoo worm. Or Nico style. It's a good one. Get in. Early bird gets the big old worm. Let's go. Early bird gets the big old worm. Let's go. Man, the fish hit it most of the time on the first drop, and yeah, super fun bait to use and just something totally different. Northern strain style, throwing big baits for northern strain largemouth bass.